Yo, what's going on YouTube and welcome back to Goal Line Hockey. It's your boy Kevin Forte and today we are taking a look at the Colorado Avalanche. So the Colorado Avalanche have had a really interesting season, right? They've had a good season so far. They seem like they're going to be potentially winning the Central Division, if not the very least, going to be one of those top three teams. And yeah, we're going to take a look at the Avs today. They had a really impressive win the other night over the Pittsburgh Penguins, so we're going to talk about that. We're also going to take a look at what I think the Colorado Avalanche can do here. Can they get 2 cup rings for this core, right? Mikko Rantanen, Gabe Landeskog, I'm sure will get a cup, whether he's there, on the team or not. Nathan MacKinnon, all those guys. Can they lift another Stanley Cup this year? We're going to take a look at that. So the Pittsburgh Penguins, the Colorado Avalanche have had a lot of success this season, right? You look at their record, they're going to get 50 wins this season, 46, 20, and 5, barring a major collapse. They're currently sitting first in that Central Division right now. It's kind of a 3-horse race, right? Kind of looking at the standings, you got Dallas, Colorado, and Winnipeg all tied with 93 points. And Nashville's kind of creeping in there, but they're still far enough away, at least for now. Yeah, so like I said, this is a team that is very good in the categories you want to be good in, right? Goals for, best in the entire National Hockey League. First, there you go. 269 goals for this season. That's first in the league. And their goals against is still top 15 at 12 with 212 goals against. Now, you look at their season through the results, right? This has been a pretty good season for the Avalanche. They really haven't had too many lulls in the season. They did have a little stretch in the beginning of the year where they did struggle a little bit. But for the most part, this is a team that has been able to stay fairly healthy despite the Landeskog and Francouz injuries. And they're able to really kind of, keep things on track, right, for most of the year. And looking at, it's ridiculous how good Nathan MacKinnon is. He is in the prime of his career right now. 122 points. That's right. 122 points for Nathan MacKinnon. He is on pace to get around 140 points, maybe 150 by the end of this season. That is incredible. Nathan MacKinnon is on a different level right now, and it's crazy to see how much success he's having. And this is the kind of guy, come playoff time, you do not want on the other side of the rink. And, like I said, he's basically got 50 goals in the bag. He needs 6 more for the rest of the season. That seems pretty likely for MacKinnon at this point. And, you look at the other contributors. Rantanen's playing really well also. He's almost got 100 points already. Cale Makar as a defenseman with 80 points as a defenseman. But again, some of that success may be coming on the back of MacKinnon and Rantanen, but still really solid. The reemergence of Jonathan Drouin has been a great story for the Avalanche, and a lot of people discuss that as potentially happening. Oh, it has definitely happened. Great pickup there. Jonathan Drouin with 46 points. Yeah, absolutely insane. And then you look at some of the other guys, the guys that kind of came in during the season. Parise with 8 points in 19 games. Casey Middlestat, basically a point per game since coming from the trade deadline. That's the kind of stuff, if you're a Colorado Avalanche fan, you have to be really excited about. Is guys coming in that you really didn't think, this guy should be good, maybe he'll help out a little bit, and really producing. And they got Jonathan Drouin for free in free agency, right? Montreal basically just let him go. Like, please, just get out of here. And look how much success he's having now. He's on pace for 50 to 60 points. Casey Middlestat kind of a weird trade. I don't know how much that's going to, hurt the Avalanche in the future, giving up Bowen Byram. But nonetheless, they had a really good player in Casey Middlestat who's playing well right now. So it's one of those things where the Colorado Avalanche are on pace to do something special again this year. And the way I kind of look at their situation is this is a hockey team that's now adding some serious depth. And when you look at their lineup, there was a little bit of a genuine concern about their depth, right? Going to daily faceoff here, that's the reason they made the Byram trade, was they needed to add another center, and that has really helped solidify this group, right? Because now you got Middlestat as your second line center with Lehkonen and Druin, and then you got Miles Wood, Colton Parise, Duhaime, Trennan, and Cogliano. That's definitely a pretty interesting group of players there, right? You know, you got Cogliano, who spent time in Dallas, Trennan from Nashville, Duhaime, and Parise from Minnesota, right? A couple of interesting characters there. But nonetheless, I think that the Colorado Avalanche really have been able to, they've been able to address the key things that they needed to address on this team at the deadline. The goaltending is still a little bit shoddy and a little bit shaky at points, but for the most part, we've seen a really good performance this year from Georgiev, and that's been a huge reason why they've had success to the level that they have, is because of their solid goaltending. And the defense is also pretty solid. Of course, any defense with Devontae, Cale Makar, Sammy Girard, and Josh Manson, that's a pretty solid group. Jack Johnson came in at the deadline, really helped solidify this group as well, and Sean Walker, who they got from the Flyers. So, the Flyers trade there with Walker was a really big help for them. But overall, I think that the Avalanche they're just a well-oiled machine right now. And this is the type of team that wins Stanley Cups. And yeah, they're a little bit on the mileage, right? You guys like Jack Johnson, Josh Manson's played a lot, Cogliano's played a lot. There's a couple guys that have definitely got some tread on their tires, but they're still able to produce and be productive. And I think that for the Colorado Avalanche, despite not having Gabe Landeskog on their roster, they've really been able to do some really good things despite losing a guy like that, a big captain player. And that might be the thing that motivates this group right now. When the Avalanche have been as good as they've been for this long, sometimes you need that external force to kind of drive you back in, and losing a guy that is so key and pivotal, the keystone of this team, the captain, Gabe Landeskog, being out for the year, really seems like it's been a driving force and kind of a storyline for the Avalanche to kind of, follow into and use as motivation for the entire season, and it's worked. So for the Colorado Avalanche, this is a team that I would be very surprised if they didn't make it to the conference finals. I think this is if I had to look at those three top teams, right, in the Central Division, and Nashville's definitely going to make it tough for anybody, whoever they end up playing, right? I think Colorado, between Dallas, Winnipeg, and Colorado, I do truly believe that the Avalanche are the best team there. And the only thing that I would be concerned about is the goaltending for the other two teams maybe being better, right? If you have guys like Hellebuck and Ottinger just stealing games in the playoffs, and we know those two guys in playoff form are very difficult to beat, I could see that as really the only weakness or Achilles heel for the Colorado Avalanche is the goaltending in the playoffs. That is going to be it. But we've seen in the past, when the Avalanche have won Stanley Cups, it hasn't always been the Vezina guy in between the pipes. Sometimes it is that second or third goalie that just gets hot at the right time, and that's what they're going to need here. They're going to need Georgiev to be hot at the right time and just finding a way to win those games. And yeah, maybe head-to-head, Hellebuck versus Georgiev or Ottinger versus Georgiev. I probably would pick Georgiev in most of those situations. Hell, even against Nashville, right? If they play UC Saros against Georgiev, head-to-head, I'd probably go with Saros. But again, if the rest of the team is able to commit to playing good defense and finding a way to win games like they did against the Penguins the other day, that's the kind of stuff you like to see, and I'm sure that the Avalanche know that. Jared Bednar has really been pressing this season, the right buttons at the right time on this team, and this is a team that's, despite some of the adversity, and it's kind of hard to find it with a team like the Avalanche, but they have adversity, and they're finding ways to overcome that, and going into the playoffs, anything can happen. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. What do you think of the Colorado Avalanche? Do you think this is a team capable of going to the Western Conference Final? Do you think they will be able to beat maybe one of those wild card teams, whether it ends up being Vegas or Nashville in the first or second round of the playoffs? What do you guys think of that? Let me know down below. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Peace out, guys.